That's quite enough adolescent fantasies for one day, thank you. Now, 00 agents are trained to work as lone operatives. They're very rarely allowed to collaborate with any other of Her Majesty's agents. They're strictly forbidden from collaborating with foreign operatives, and under no circumstances whatsoever are they permitted to divulge or trade any information that comes their way with any other person or persons. Unfortunately, Commander Bond has never been one to adhere to the rules. He continually enlists help on his assignments. And more often than not, he enlists the help of females. Naturally enough, these collaborations rarely make it into the ridiculously short reports he hands in to M once his assignments are completed. But I know for a fact that they occur. And his last assignment was no exception. Officer Wei Lin of the Chinese People's Secret Army is a more than able partner for 007. I've long been an admirer of the training techniques of the Chinese Secret Service and the agents it produces, and Officer Wei Lin proved to be no exception. She's multilingual, trained in every conceivable martial art, and highly experienced with literally dozens of Asian assignments to her name. I think for once 007 actually met his match, and may even have learnt a new thing or two. Although that might be pushing it a bit. This profile on Officer Wei Lin has been compiled by two of our most respected agents, Agent Director Roger Spottiswoode and Agent Producer Michael Wilson. It also includes a personal assessment from Officer Lin herself.
I thought we should finally have an interesting, grown-up woman in it, not just wonderful, voluptuous babes.
We really wrote the role for her.
She's not a bimbo.
We wanted an agent.
The Chinese 007.
Bond's equal in different ways.
I, first of all, never imagined that I would be an actress. My background started from ballet and dance. I only started to do martial arts since about 12 years ago when I did my first action movie.
She's beautiful and she's striking and strong and amazing physically.
I met up with the producer and he turned around to me and said, you know, you would be perfect in a Bond movie. And I thought, yes, I would be. So this was 2 years ago, and last year, finally in October, I got my first phone call to say, the story seems to be working in your direction. So we met up in London, we met up again in Milan, we met up again in Hong Kong, and finally I met Piers here in London at the end of December. And guess what? I got it!
Quiet, please, rehearsal.
I've been doing action movies on and off for the last 12 years.
You see, Mr. Bond, I have a backup plan.
So I've been doing some pretty dangerous stuff from before.
So do I.
She does all her own stunts and she's wonderful.
Doing action movies, you know, you do stuff that you would not be able to do normally.
I think great stunts that you really do are terrific and people somehow know it.
With the insurance and all that, it's too dangerous. They don't want anything to happen to you. But when I'm there, you know, Piers and I, like, we should go for it. I've learned from the best people in the industry. So I've learned from like some incredible stunt people, actors who have been well-versed in this form of movie making. Sorry.
She's the sort of established action heroine, and in Asia.
I've always worked on only Asian movies before.
She was perfect for us.
This is my biggest ever budget movie. Whether it's a big movie or a small movie, at the end of the day, you want to do a good movie. Just give it your best.
Lucky for you, I stopped by.
I could have taken care of him.
Over the years, 007 has been called upon to risk his life in the air for Queen and country. He has fought out of the back of an aeroplane, and he's even battled the enemy of state in outer space. His last assignment called for him to skydive over the South China Seas in an attempt to locate the sunken ship HMS Devonshire. Now, in order to do this, he had to free fall for over 14,000 feet. At times, 007 was falling at up to 200 miles an hour, head first. And in order to avoid being picked up by the Vietnamese radar, he was unable to open his parachute until he was just 200 feet above water. Now, naturally, Commander Bond was trained by the very best in order to complete the jump. The training came via 007's CIA connection, Jack Wade. Wade provided parachute jump specialist Agent Worth for the training. Agent Worth is one of the world's most experienced high-altitude, low-opening jumpers, or Halo, as we like to call it. Anyway, Agent Worth has over 27 years of experience. He trained 007 first at Arizona with a 12,000 feet drop, and then at Florida with a drop of 14,000 feet.
Bail out at 29,000 feet. You free fall for 5 miles. And use your oxygen or you'll die of asphyxiation. Sounds like my first marriage!
Whenever you release parachutes above the water, you always have the problem that you might smack in the wrong way.
Pop the shooter 200 feet below the Chinese radar. You'll be traveling over 200 miles an hour. This snaps your head back like a cantaloupe. Be careful not to crack your skull open on the tanks.
Because they want Bond to cut away at a fairly high altitude, there's a chance that I might get tipped over, smash my face, the tanks might come up and I start to pull my harness off.
I'll keep that in mind.
So there's a chance I'm going to get bruised or something like that, or hit the water so hard that I get smacked around. But we just sort of take that risk, and I know there's going to be good safety people there right after I land.
Pick up, son.
Oh, you bet. After your mission, turn on your beacon, and the extraction team will pick you up after dark. You didn't even say goodbye.
When you go into the water, there's always the problem of flotation and having a rescue situation. And so the water safety people are right on me real quick, but they have to be far enough away to be out of the shot.